Hello students, welcome to the classes. In this session, we will continue with MCQs on the chapter D and F block elements. Now let's see the first question. The transition metals are used as catalyst because of, they are given four properties here: high ionic charge, variable oxidation state, larger surface area of reactants, and of their specific nature. See, what is a catalyst? Which increases or decreases the rate of the reaction depending on whether it is positive catalyst or negative catalyst. Okay, so it alters the rate of reaction. So during the reaction, it undergoes many changes, but at the end of the reaction, it remains the same as during the start of the reaction. So to undergo many changes and to remain same as that of original state, it has to have what? The variable oxidation states, so that it can have tendency to attract the reactants of different species. Right, now that's why what's the property, the reason for the transition metals to be preferred as catalyst, which property? Variable oxidation state. Right, so option B. Now let's see the second question now. The spin only magnetic moment of Zn plus 2 is, see, Zn electronic configuration is 4s2 3d10. If you want Zn plus 2, this is 4s0 3d10. Now here check the number of unpaired electrons. It is 3d10 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you have unpaired electrons? No. That means the value of n is 0. What is spin only magnetic moment? Mu equals to root n into n plus 2. See, the value of n is 0 here. 0 into anything 0. So you get 0 Bohr magneton. Right. So which option? Option B, 0 Bohr magneton. Now let's see the third question. Which of the following belongs to the lanthanide series? Curium is Cm, Californium is Cf, uranium is U, europium is Eu. So the first three, they belong to actinide series. They belong to actinide series, and the europium belongs to the lanthanide series. Okay, so which option? Option D, europium. If the magnetic moment is 0, the fourth question, if the magnetic moment is 0, then the compound is, see, magnetic moment is given by what? Root n into n plus 2. Okay, so now here they have given magnetic moment is 0. Magnetic moment is 0 means what? The compound is obviously diamagnetic. It has no unpaired electrons. That is why magnetic moment is 0. So that is why it is what? Diamagnetic. It is paramagnetic if it is having little magnetic moment. It is ferromagnetic. It is if it is able to form the domains. Right. Now here, if the magnetic moment is 0, then it is diamagnetic. Option A. Let's look into the fifth question. Paramagnetism is exhibited by the molecules with, it is similar to the previous question. Okay, exactly contradictory. Right, paramagnetism is exhibited by which elements? See, if you have unpaired electrons, because mu is given by what? Root n into n plus 2. Now here n is number of unpaired electrons. If you have unpaired electrons, you will get some value of mu. Mu tells you the magnetic moment, spin only magnetic moment. Right. So if you have spin only magnetic moment, that means the elements are having what? The paramagnetic property. To have paramagnetic property, you should have mu. To have mu, you should have unpaired electrons. Right. So which option then? Okay. So the fifth question is what? Option A, unpaired electrons. Right. Let's look into the sixth question now. Which of the following is amphoteric in nature? Okay, so how do you find amphoteric nature? So generally amphoteric compounds, for example, in MnO, what is the oxidation state of Mn? +2, because you can take here Mn oxidation, you can take it as X, and oxidation state of O is -2. This, if you equate it to 0, you get X equal to +2. What is the oxidation state of Mn here? +7. You can take this as X into 2X, X into 2, 2X. This is -2 oxidation state for oxygen. -2 into 7 minus 14 equals to 0. You get the value of X as +7. What is MnO2? What is oxidation state here? +4. Now, what are the different oxidation states shown up by Mn? +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, +7. See, here the Mn is amphoteric in nature. That means its oxidation state should lie in the middle of this series. Now, +2, it is at this end, +7, it is at this end, +4, it is in the middle. So it shows amphoteric nature and the oxidation state of what? +4. Right. Now, which option? Option C, MnO2. The correct order of density is, see, density depends on what? Density is given by mass by volume. Mass by volume. Okay, that means density depends on mass and volume. So if volume is more, density is less. Right. Now, you know, in the 3D series, initially from scandium to chromium, what happens to size? Size decreases, and after that, let's say from Fe to Zn, what happens to size? Size almost remains constant, and towards the end it increases to little extent. The size increases to little extent. That means if you take NeCuZn, okay, sorry, not Ni, nickel, NiCuZn, let me take it as Ni here. If you take nickel, copper, zinc, NiCuZn, so Ni has more size, Ni has less size, Cu has little more size, Zn has more size, because the size increases towards the end. So Ni has what? Less size compared to Cu, which has less size compared to Zn. This is, I am talking about the size or volume, not the density. And Sc has the highest size because it decreases from Sc to Cr. That means Sc has highest size. Sc has highest size. So you can see here the density is inversely proportional to volume. Volume means it is related to size. So if more volume, less is the density. So Sc has highest size, highest volume. That means it should have less density. So Sc has to be at the end. And you can see Ni. What about Ni? Ni has less size. So that means it should have more density. Ni has less size, so it should have more density. So the order is what? Ni, Cu, Zn, Sc. Because Ni has less size, what? It has less size, that is why it is having more density. Ni, Cu, Zn, Sc. Ni, Cu, Zn, Sc. Which option? Option C. Right. In the first half of 3D series, size decreases. In the next half, it increases a little bit. Okay. But it almost like a constant, not much increase. Let's see the 8th question. The chloride of which of the following element is colored? See, Zn is nothing but ZnCl2, it's chloride. CO is nothing but what? CoCl3. Hg is nothing but HgCl2. Ag is nothing but AgCl. So here its oxidation state is +1. Here it is +2, here it is +3, here it is +2. Now check where you have unpaired electrons. In case of Z1, Zn +2, Zn is actually 4s2 3d10. This is Zn. If you take Zn +2, remove 2 electrons, you get 4s0 3d10. All are completely filled, no unpaired electrons. So this is colorless. This is not colored. If you take CuCl3, CO is what? Plus 27. Now I am removing 3 electron. I mean its electronic configuration is what? 4s2 3d7. If you remove 3 electrons, so 2 from this, 1 from this, so you get 3d6. So 3d6 means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? So if I write the box structure, now you have 4 unpaired electrons here, so that is why it is colored. That is why it is what? Colored. You can look at the example of Hg also. Okay, Hg is what? It's actually given by 6s2 5d10. Now if you remove 2 electron, 5d10 completely filled, no unpaired electron, all are completely filled. So this is not colored. Okay, Ag is actually what? It is 5s1 4d10. Now if you remove 1 electron, because oxidation state is +1, you are left with 10, right? Completely filled, so no unpaired electrons, it's not colored. So which is colored? Cobalt, right? COCl3 is colored. Now let's see the ninth question. Aufbau principle of arrangement of electrons is not valid for. That means you should have exceptional electronic configuration. So which of them? Chromium and copper, because this is 4s1 3d5 instead of 4s2 3d4. This is not your case. Actually this has to be the usual case, but this is not your actual case. Actual case is 4s1 3d5. What about copper? 4s1 3d10. Actually it has to be what? It has to be 4s2 3d9. But this is not the regular case. The actual case is what? 4s1 3d10. So Aufbau principle for arrangement of electrons, okay, is not valid for copper and chromium, right? So which option? You can see option B, copper and chromium. Right, let's look at the last question. Most powerful oxidizing agent of Mn is shown by which of the following oxidation states? See, most powerful oxidizing property. Mn shows oxidizing property, right? If it is showing oxidizing property, Mn actually has to undergo what? It has to undergo reduction. Then it is good oxidizing agent. Itself has to undergo what? Reduction. Reduction means what? Adding electrons, right? Adding electrons is nothing but what? Reduction. So if you have more positive charge, it means easily you can add what? Electrons. If you have more positive charge for what? Mn, you can easily add like what? Electrons. If you can easily add electrons, it will easily undergo reduction. That means it's a good oxidizing agent, right? So where you should have more positive charge? Where you have more positive charge? Option D. There you have more positive charge, so you can easily add electrons. That means Mn will undergo reduction. That means it's a good oxidizing agent. So which option? Option D, +7.